Prayer is now the relationship that I live with God I live in this world. Everything I do, how I work, how I go to school, how I live my life with my neighbors, everything becomes representative of my relationship with God. And because everything becomes representative, when I have money in my pocket, I think not about how it's going to serve me, but how I should use it according to God's will. When I have time, I think about how to spend it in the best possible way according to God's will. When I have time to speak to Him, I speak to Him. I don't just go through words and try to finish my prayers in order that I could do the rest of my life or live other things in my life. No, it's not like that at all. Prayer becomes something more fluid and something more powerful. Something more fluid and something more powerful. And let me tell you, it's not easy to understand what prayer is. We have to work at it, and it's very difficult. One of my favorite stories from the sayings from the Paradise of the Fathers, there were these two anchorites living in the middle of the desert, and they were dying of thirst. And these two men were praying to God, asking for God, send us water, we need water, anything, we're thirsty, we're dying of thirst. And they thought, for some reason, we don't know exactly how they prayed, but what we know is that a very holy man came to them. And he said to them, what's going on? What's wrong with you guys? He says, we've been praying to God for water and He's not sending anything. And he said to them, I don't think you've been praying. I don't think you've been praying. And then it says in the story that all he did was he raised his hands to heaven, and waters like torrents came down from heaven. And you see that there's something different between those two that are just, in their prayers, something was missing, as opposed to this other man just lifting his hands to heaven and water comes down. Prayer isn't a trick. Prayer isn't magic. Prayer isn't a way that I got to learn how to do it in order to get what I want. Prayer isn't self-serving. Prayer is a way that I return to God in that original relationship that He wanted me in.